Absolutely. And everybody knows it was the beginning of the end, Skip. And LeBron knew that once Kyrie was traded, there was no realistic chance that he could ever beat the Warriors. It was going to be a struggle with Kyrie. Mm-hmm. Without Kyrie, it's impossible. And, you hear all these stories coming out that Dan Gilbert, traded him. He wanted his team back. Okay, you got it. You remember what happened last time, Skip? Dan Gilbert got his team back. LeBron packed his bag, and he headed south. He was like migratory geese. They say in the wintertime they fly south. That's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know about the migration pattern of migratory birds. I just study, I was good at that kind of stuff.
But then he flew north.
Whoa, let me finish.
Came back.
Why are you talking? I didn't ask you anything. Yeah. Dan Gilbert had control. He had control of his team. If Skip, remember, serves you correct, they picked first, got Kyrie Irving. Picked first, got Anthony Bennett.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, pick first, got Andrew Wiggins. They come back, they go to NBA Finals. He leaves again. Guess what they're going to be doing, Skip? In the lottery with a chance to, and they tried very hard to get that first pick again. Now, I don't know who it's going to be, Zion Williams or Barrett, R.J. Barrett from Duke. One of those two kids probably be the number one overall pick. Yep. Guess who's going to be in the running? Cleveland. Skip, look, this was just the final straw. Because I don't believe the general manager would have traded Kyrie. And he definitely wouldn't have traded him within the conference to your staunchest rival. You had been going back and forth with these guys, Skip. You're not trading Kyrie there. Think about it. Greg Popovich is as bad as the damage was between he and Kawhi. He's like, ain't no way in hell I'm trading you in the Western Conference. Not only would he not trade, he could have traded him to Sacramento. He could have traded him to Phoenix. He could have traded him to a lot of different places. You actually think he's going to trade him to the Warriors or trade him to the Rockets or the Thunder? That's what Dan Gilbert did. Just to spite. He going to cut off his nose to spite his face. He want to try. I got control of this. David Griffin. Griffin is, I think, is the general manager's name. And LeBron said it. I know that wasn't Griff's call. That was Dan Gilbert. So, okay. You want to kick up your heels and pump your chest out. Yeah, it's your team. But I'm up out of here. And guess what, Skip? He left and didn't get no compensation. That's what hurt. That's what hurt OKC when KD left. When they leave, when you get a megastar and he leaves and you don't get compensation, that hurt. And that's what Brian did. Brian packed his bag. You remind you kind of like how the Indianapolis Colts did in Baltimore. Skip, you remember in '84? In the middle of the night, loaded up those Mayflower vans, up the end of they went. LeBron did it better, though. We know he would come to L.A., drove Savannah, packed up everything.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they drove.
Yeah, they did. They drove.
Just a family road trip?
Yeah.
I doubt that.
In a G6.
Yeah, in a G6. Are you finished?
I'm finished.
Thank you. Speaking of pathetic, this whole story is just pathetic.
Why is it pathetic?
Yesterday, Kyrie was asked at his shoot-around what he thought of this same story, and he just shrugged and said, you know what, I've moved on. And LeBron should have said, when asked these questions about what happened in the past in Cleveland,
why are you asking the question?
I've moved on. Just let it go. Let it be. Let it lay.
No.
You've got your Brentwood estate. In fact, you have two of them. Two of them. And you've got Staples, and you've got L.A., and you have a hot young team with some vets, and everything's okay. Onward and upward, but no, LeBron just can't help himself. He constantly needs to rewrite history with his sympathetic spin on it. He just has to rewrite it. He has to revise history so that everybody says, oh, poor LeBron.
We don't need no pity.
Well, that's what he's asking for. He needs to keep feeding the gullible witnesses out there these loads of baloney because he knows they'll swallow it and say, poor, pitiful LeBron.
Skip, the Papa doesn't need pity.
Did Dan Gilbert sabotage LeBron? Kyrie just went to Dan Gilbert and said, I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. I want out. You can make the case Dan Gilbert should have dug in and say, tough.
Exactly.
But what just happened with Jimmy Butler and Glenn Taylor, the owner in your city, right? He just told Glenn, I'm out. I don't even want to try anymore. I'm going to be a problem for you. And Glenn Taylor just ordered everybody under him, just figure this out. Go move him to wherever you can move him. And they moved Jimmy Butler to a really good team. It's not in their conference, but it's a really good basketball team, and he may just put them over the top into the NBA Finals.
Right.
Okay, so the same thing was happening. But the sabotage ended with last year's trade deadline because Dan Gilbert, after that trade deadline, was the executive of the year in the NBA because my man, Shannon Sharpe, came in the day after the trade deadline, and you were ready to be the parade master.
And I said, we go into the NBA Finals. That's exactly what I said.
Think about what he did. He knew he made a mistake on Isaiah Thomas because he thought he was healthier than he was, and he had a career-threatening hip injury, and he was not right. He was talking right. He was talking big and bold and bad.
And hadn't played yet.
But he couldn't live up to it, right? Correct. And he hasn't played yet. I agree, but he finally had the surgery that he probably should have had before he went to Cleveland, okay? So he got rid of Isaiah Thomas, and all of a sudden he got rid of Jay Crowder. He got rid of Derrick Rose, and he got rid, He moved Dwayne on down to his semi-retirement back in Miami. Yeah, and all of a sudden, they get Jordan Clarkson and Rodney Hood and Larry Nance and George Hill. It was a bonanza. And you were ecstatic over that, and you thought we are back in business. You and Chris Broussard were high-fiving right here on this desk. Am I right about that?
Yes, and I was right.
You were right about what?
They went to the NBA Finals.
Okay, but what's not to like about that? Because they had a chance. And then...
LeBron said, I'd rather have Kyrie than all those guys.
Okay, but while we're revising history, need I bring up the fact, and these are just facts, that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, at Oracle, at Oakland, with 15 seconds left, the quote-unquote best player on the planet, according to you, had the ball in his hands with little Steph Curry switched onto him at the top of the circle, down 1 point with as hot a hand from outside as he had on Sunday night in Miami.
Skip, but we're going to have to go through this again.
Okay, well, he did it. Well, I'm not going to let you sweep it back under your carpet. If LeBron's going to bring up history in Cleveland, that was the turning point. That's where it all went wrong.
Let's give it so LeBron wins that game. They're not beating Golden State. You know that. Skip, stop it.
No, you don't. You got a good shot. Because the Golden State Warriors can be a little fragile at their core, mentally. We're seeing it right now. They are unraveling. And again, sometimes Kevin can go south. Sometimes Steph and Clay can be a little soft and they can lose their shot. Who knows what could happen if you beat them in Game 1 in their place
Houston had them down.
You get a free shot.
Okay, Houston had them down with 2 games to win.
And you know what? Houston would have won that series if Chris Paul didn't pull his hamstring.
He didn't get hurt in Game 6.
I know, but he got hurt right on schedule. If he ends that game,
well, why didn't they end it in Game 6 and then Game 7?
Well, I just think they had him on the ropes. LeBron could have had them on the ropes. And then, by the way, I'm going to finish this because the witnesses don't want to hear this. But LeBron proceeded not to take the shot down 1, pass to George Hill. Obviously, he quickly got tackled by Klay Thompson. Makes the first one, misses the second one. Obviously, JR has a glitch, a
it's a glitch. It was a glitch, huh?
Okay, but he's running away from the basket. He doesn't take a shot, although it would have been a desperation shot. And I'd give him
right there in the lane, 4 feet from the basket.
I'd give him a 5% chance to make that shot.
Stop.
But LeBron James goes to the bench. He goes to the bench. Do you remember this?
I do.
And he separates himself from the team and completely melts down and throws the biggest tantrum. He just can't take it.
Did we just see something like this last week? Kevin Durant had a meltdown.
This is Game 1 of the finals.
Kevin Durant had a meltdown.
You got all you could ask for. It's tied, going to overtime, and LeBron is pouting, and then he continues to pout.
Skip, the game is tied.
The game is tied, and LeBron is pouting and refuses to shoot for the first 2.5 minutes of the 5-minute overtime, and Golden State goes up 7, and it's over, and you are swept.
And the new NBA's best player, according to you, Kevin Durant, in a tie ball game. He upset, and it hadn't been the same since.
We don't care about that.
Oh, now we don't care about it. Now we don't care about it.
We care about Game 1 of the finals, because let's rewrite that history. Or let's just write it out of history.
All I'm saying is, and then you...
Maybe that was the beginning of the end.
And I can't believe you, Skip Bayless, that you would say that J.R. Smith got the rebound in the lane and said with 4 seconds it was going to be a desperation shot.
Sure it
really?
was.
Skip, he's 4 feet from the basket. An NBA player is going to attempt a desperation shot 4 feet from the basket. Skip, come on, Skip.
The best player and the player with the hot hand, he just goes up and Michael Jordan's that shot. If he's that guy, he just goes up and drains it from the free throw line.
First of all,
over Steph Curry, you got to take the shot.
That's not LeBron's shot. Just the
it is. Up. Boy, it was Sunday night at Miami.
Yeah, but hold on.
It was against Toronto.
How many times did he just raise up without dribbling the basketball and shoot it?
Against Toronto, he made like 8 in a row fall-aways.
Exactly, but he was dribbling the basketball. I'm saying, how many times did he just pull up and shoot?
If he's the best player on the planet, that's his shot, because any shot should be his shot.
Stop.
Well, it's Michael Jordan's shot.
Okay, that's Michael Jordan's shot. Well, but Michael Jordan and LeBron James, they played 2 different games. That's not his shot. LeBron James is just not elevating and shooting the ball over. He's dribbling the ball. He's going to check his feet, slide left, slide right, or he's going to do that fadeaway. Okay.
The guy guarding him is 6'3". You can't shoot that? Just shoot it from the free throw line.
It doesn't matter if that's not your shot. See, that's what makes him so great. He stays within his wheelhouse. He knows what he is. He knows who he is. And he doesn't get outside of that no matter how much outside pressure, external, that's what we call it, external, because internally we know who we are. We feel very comfortable.
So we make the right pass to George Hill, who's playing in his first ever NBA Finals.
Whoa. That's not what you said when they made the trade for him. You talked about how great George Hill was.
I did not. I told you I never liked him in San Antonio. I told you that. Period. End of story.
But you didn't like him in San Antonio, but you love him for LeBron.
Well, you loved him. No, you loved him. You loved him. I didn't.
You talk about Jordan Clarkson. You like Jordan Clarkson, right?
By the way, Shannon Sharpe told me right before this season started that LeBron's supporting cast in Cleveland was better than this supporting cast in L.A.
In the East. In the East.
Oh.
In the East. Let me ask you a question. If LeBron was on this roster, do they only have 2 wins, Skip?
Which roster?
Cleveland.
Well, heck no.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, he had it all. He had everything he wanted. But it's the Eastern Conference.
I feel very
It's a cakewalk.
So now, given what we've seen over the last, since Steph Curry has been out, you still believe Kevin Durant could have took the Cleveland Cavaliers last year to the NBA?
Yep, I do.
You funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you at the Improv tonight?
Yeah,
I want to see you do that.
I saw Kevin Durant in back-to-back game 3s just stick it right in LeBron's face.
Yeah, I'm sure LeBron. If LeBron had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry,
you see what he's doing, Ginny? He's making excuses.
No, I'm just.